wanted to introduce you to the business simulation class and go through some of the materials and kind of orient you to the course. So I'm going to do this briefly, but I wanted to first show you the Begin Here section. The Begin Here section is where you'll find the syllabus to read. Please don't email me. You don't have to email me, but the syllabus assignment is here. So make sure to get that done. And then you can go to your class materials. For this first week, the only assignment that you really have to do is Learning Plan 1, and I want you to print the textbooks. So go into the textbooks, print these two documents out. Those are going to be the two books that you'll be using. You can also use them as a PDF if you're used to e-readers and want to do that. Totally up to you. But the books for the class are free. The actual simulation you have to purchase from the bookstore, and you'll be getting two pieces. You'll be getting CAPSIM Foundation, and then you'll also be getting CompXM. That's the final exam. So those are the two pieces that you have to purchase. But the textbooks come here free, and they're located in the Print These Textbooks folder. Okay. I did put the due dates and grading here, also because the syllabus is in the Begin Here section, so for quick, easy reference, that's there. I don't want to hide anything from you, so I don't want you to feel like you can't find what you're looking for. In the Learning Plan 1, I'm going to go here first. This is your reading. So the first couple of weeks of class, you're going to be doing quite a bit of reading. Don't fall behind. Okay, so don't fall behind with the reading. Don't fall behind with the simulation. The simulation is going to continue to go with or without you. So the less you do up front, the more trouble you're going to have in the back end. So front load this class as much as possible so you understand what you're doing. Okay. For the introduction, I did do a business simulation introduction on Flipgrid, primarily because you're going to have to do it for your presentation, so I want you to get in here and at least get familiar with it. If you've never used Flipgrid before, I have an informational document about what it is attached. I've used it in my classes. In this area, you should be able to type your student ID and hit Let's Go, and that should bring up the Flipgrid right here for you. It's very easy to do, and then all you would be doing is selecting record, and then it will record you on your computer. You may have to turn on your mic and your camera, or you can do this on your phone. So you can get the app, the Flipgrid app on your phone. It's called Flipgrid right here. You can download that app. It's a free app, and when you get in, it'll ask for this code. So that's the code that you'll be entering, and then it'll ask for your student ID. So it's a secure website. Elementary schools use it, so it's as secure as you can get on the internet. It's as secure as Blackboard is. So I want you to feel comfortable to be able to post these videos, but it really helps people to get to know who's in the class by doing this. So that I really like. You don't have to necessarily respond to anybody in our Flipgrids. At least in the first part of this, it's really more free to kind of get yourself out there so people can get to meet you. I'd love for you to listen to the different presentations that are out there as people post them, because I really do think this gets pretty interactive. But then I also use them later on for questions. So if you have questions as you're going through this, one place to put those questions, if you don't want to email me, is right in Flipgrid, and then other students can post responses as well. So I think that's also interactive. I haven't done that in my online class before, so I wanted to try it to see how it goes. There is also a discussion board for this first week, and we're really going to be talking about size, performance, perceptual maps, that concept. So that's going to be our first learning plan discussion board. A lot of what we're going to be talking about in the discussion boards are things you're going to need to understand for the CompXM, which is the final simulation. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the due dates and the homework so you kind of understand that a little bit better. Certainly you can read the syllabus on your own and get more information from it. But I want to highlight first of all the points. I told you that the simulation will move on without you. Understand that the simulation itself there's 3 quizzes, that's 75 points. The practice rounds, you get 40 points, if you complete them correctly, and I'll show you how to do that. You get 30 points to complete the tutorial. But if you look at all of your total points, 585 total points, 300 is from the final exam. That's done all on your own, and it's challenging. So you do not want to leave any points behind as you go. Okay, your employability skills will be measured off of your discussion boards and how interactive you are with class, and that is 35 points total. And then the presentation will be a combination of submitting the PowerPoint and briefly discussing that presentation. You'll have 5 minutes to discuss, so it's not a huge long presentation, but in Flipgrid I give you 5 minutes. That's the max I can give you to do a presentation. You can talk off of your slides. That'll help you kind of move it along a little bit, but just hit the highlights in that verbal presentation. You might have more detail in your presentation, but just hit the highlights. We'll get into that much more later, but that's kind of the breakout of it. I wanted you to understand the emphasis on the final exam. It's worth more than half of your grade. Okay, there are no D's in this class, so C or better, so understand your points. This is the first week, syllabus quiz, perceptual maps, and then we'll start the actually logging into CompXM or CAPSIM on Learning Plan 2 and starting the tutorials. So the first week is really getting you oriented with the class, the discussion board, the syllabus quiz, and reading the books. There's lots of reading, 87 pages. Some of this is going to be, at least the first section, a little bit of an overview of Intro to Business, a refresher. Don't overlook this because half of your final exam is multiple choice exam questions and its application. So you really want to read this book. You really want to understand what you're doing. Okay. So here are some of the details. The tutorials, there's 3 tutorials. You'll complete those. You'll have a whole week to do them. And the first one's really easy. The second one's more challenging. The third one will take you a little bit of time. But read. If you read through them, it'll be fine. So I'll get into that more next week when we start that. The practice rounds, these are the items that you have to hit the practice rounds. Simulation quizzes are done on an individual basis. The team rounds, you're actually doing them individually. There's 8 competition rounds, and then at the end, your presentation will be given, and then there's CompXM, the final exam, and this is how the points are given. This is based off for your CompXM points and how many points you get in the class as a result. So the points aren't equal. The most points you can get from CompXM is 1,000. So 800 and up, you get full 100% of the points. And then if you get 700 and up, it's still considered an A with 270 points. And then 600 and up, 240, and 500 and up, 210. That's a C or better on that. So that'll give you an idea of how many points you have to achieve. Half of those points are multiple choice point questions. So half is a simulation. So you have to understand how to apply and understand the reports as much as the simulation. So it's kind of a balance. So we're going to go through this together. We'll learn about it. I've got plenty of videos for you to learn and understand. This first section has no videos, just a PowerPoint introduction for you to take a look at, and then the perceptual map discussion along with your introduction Flipgrid. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know.